Hello and welcome. I hope that you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today, where I have just returned from my quests for my readathon. And so we're going to talk about the books that I read for those Manga Classics. Let me take my cloak off and we'll get started. Look, how thoughtful. Somebody left me a drink. All right, so as I was saying, for my quests, I read Manga Classics. For the quest to read a book that had a movie adaptation, I did the Manga Classic of Hamlet by William Shakespeare. For the quest to read a book that had potions or poisons, I read Macbeth, also a Manga Classic adaptation of a Shakespeare play. And for the quest to read a book with a morally gray character, I read the Manga Classic of A Midsummer Night's Dream. So today I just want to talk about Manga Classics in general. I know there are some people who view manga and graphic novels as a lower form of reading, and at one time I might not have been as intrigued by Manga Classics as I am now, but there are some really cool things about them. So, for the Manga Classics of all of Shakespeare's plays, it's got the full text of the play. So you are reading Shakespeare. It's just augmented with artwork. And the artwork is really interesting. So normally when you read a Shakespeare play in the traditional format, it is a bunch of words on pages. Each page is divided into two columns. But when you read the Shakespeare play in the manga format, you also have images and artwork to help you know what's going on. So it engages another part of your brain so that it's more intriguing and keeps you interested in the story. With the Manga Classics, the artwork also can help you see the emotions that the characters are feeling. Sometimes with this story itself, it's hard to know exactly what the character is feeling. With the artwork, you can see the emotions on their face, you can see the setting, you can feel what the character is feeling. The way the character is drawn will change as the story progresses based on the events of the story and the decisions that they've had to make. So Macbeth starts off looking one way, and after he makes multiple decisions, by the end he looks a little different. With the artwork, different interpretations of the scene can be portrayed all at once. And a good example of this takes place in Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1, which is very popular, To Be or Not to Be. So here in the traditional format is Hamlet, Scene 3, Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. And it begins right here, to be or not to be, that is the question. Here is the same scene, or the beginning of it, in the Manga Classic. So not only do you get this lovely artwork for To Be or Not to Be, you also are able to see three different interpretations of the scene. So, the interpretation where Hamlet is seeking vengeance, the interpretation where Hamlet is experiencing depression and questioning life, or the interpretation where Hamlet is just contemplating the meaning of life and death. So you get all three interpretations. Through the artwork, you get to experience it all in this version. I've also got the Manga Classic of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. which, because of the language of the original, it can be a little difficult for modern readers to be engaged with the story. But with the Manga Classic Edition, you're able to bridge that difficulty. So you can read the story, and there are images to help engage other portions of your brain so that you stay interested and intrigued by the story. So, those were the books I read for my quests in the readathon I was in. I hope you enjoyed this look at Manga Classics. I also did mention in the previous video that I wanted to do the quest where you read a story and then wear a shirt based on the cover of that book. And so, let me show you what I did. So I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and I don't have a lot of orange, but I was able to rustle up an orange shirt. So here is my shirt inspired by The Poppy War. I even did my nails orange, so here is my other quest. And I hope you enjoyed my readathon books this month, and I hope that you will join me. I will be back later in the week, and we will talk about what I am reading in September. Until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you!